Welcome to our 2022 R-Pod 202. Starting right in your back bumper here, just kind of squeeze it together, pull it on out of there. Inside of that back bumper, you're going to find your sewer hose. Take note of those two ears in the adapter here to help you hooking it up to your sewer system. And the hose itself, once fully extended, is about 20 feet long. Just keeping it stored in the bumper back here to help keep any sort of stench out of the unit and keep things that bit fresher. And then the cap there just kind of presses back into place. In this corner, as well as each corner of the trailer, you're going to find these stabilizer jacks. All they do is they run down, contact the ground, give it another turn or so just to firm it up, and that'll get rid of any sort of bounce or sway that you see you got in the unit right now, just to keep things firm while you're out camping. Up from there, you'll find your power inlet. So as you pop it open, there's a little notch in the bottom corner there. It'll line up with a notch just like that. You're going to press those in together. That'll eighth turn to lock it down. Then you get the threaded collar in the back there to really lock it into place. As you follow your cord back, you're going to find a standard 30 amp end there. Most campsites are going to have that. You can just plug straight on in and you're good to go. We do also provide you with a 15 amp adapter, so if you're looking to plug in at home to charge your batteries or run your fridge, you got the power to do so. Right beside that's your cable and satellite inlet. Coax cable will plug into there, fire up at your TV location. A step forward and get your gray water dumping station. So you got that cap there, you're going to kind of turn it, you can press it out. See, it's got the same ears on it that your sewer hose had. It'll attach the same way, we're just pressing it in, turning it into place. Gray water is filled from your sinks as well as your shower, so typically cleaner water than what our black will be. Black is filled from your toilet, of course, can be your dirtiest water. So we'll be dumping your black first, and then you can do your two gray tanks. So black on the side there, gray on this side. So this gray tank is going to be filled from your sink and your shower. The gray tank in the back is going to be your kitchen sink. So just whatever you figure is going to be the cleanest water, you want to make sure you're dumping that last. Same sort of sewer cap there. The sewer hose will attach the same way. Up from here, you'll find a black tank flush valve. So over time, you may notice after having gone and dumped your tank, your monitor panel is still reading 1/3 or 2/3, whatever it may be. Typically, it's just some debris inside of the tank hanging between the probes. So what you'll do is take your water hose and plug it into here. Open up that black valve, turn on the water, and that'll just flush out that tank, getting rid of any sort of debris that could be causing your issues. Towards the front, we get your fresh water stations. So up top there, that cap just pops on out. Your water hose will stick into there, turn on the water, and that'll fill up your fresh water tank. Down underneath that's your city water connection. So your water hose will just plug into there, turn on the water, that'll pressurize all your water lines. Underneath the unit, that little white cap there, if you're to unthread that, that'll allow your fresh water tank to drain itself out. Going into your storage compartment here, magnetic latches hold them open. Inside here, you're going to find your water hose. Inside that water hose is that park adapter. So your 30 amp short cord would just plug right into there, and then you have your 15 amp adapter to plug in as well. And there's the other end of your short cord. It is about a 25-foot long short cord. Around front of the unit, that red box here is your battery disconnect switch. So with it pointed up, that's it turned off. If you're to switch it over to the side, that's it turned on. So of course, for whenever you're storing the unit, just to make sure that's turned off. Battery itself is housed inside of this box right here. So as long as you're plugged into that short cord in the back or your 7-pin into your tow vehicle, the battery's charging for you. Loosen off that knob there, you open it up, and you get access to your propane tank. So you're just turning that until it's opened up. Close it back down. In front's power tongue jack, so light switch on top, up is up, down is down. Other side here, get the other end of your storage compartment, same magnetic latch there. Inside of here, you're gonna find your little jacks. Right, so you can run that guy. Then you also get the manual override for your tongue jack up front. You also find a little griddle in here, as well as a little sink. So those guys just plop in back here. So this compartment here, you can just open that up. Again, just the magnetic latch holds it open. You do get a 120 volt fridge in here, so as long as you're plugged in, this guy's going for you. Right underneath that, we'll just open it up. Then the bottom piece just slides on over. Then we can pop that open. So just take note of those 4 holes there. The one in the back corner here being smaller, so that's what we'll be securing our griddle to. Just pull this guy on out of here. So our sink will fill in the big hole. And then just this back right foot here, we're just going to unscrew that. And then we can sit our griddle into place. Lock it down with that last foot there. So just up through the hole and it threads into the griddle. Propane nose for it. So this valve right here, you do have the same valve down low. You just got that valve right there. So you just got to make sure that's closed off before you can undo your quick connect. If you've got it opened up, you just can't undo it. So like I say, down, same thing down here, dust cap there. And then we can open up our flow of propane. Oh, the valve's been broken off of there, so I'll fix that once we're done here. Just make a note real quick. And then the other end just runs up and through. Attaches in, open it up, And then of course, if you could open up the valve of the trailer, you'd just be kind of rapidly turning this past light until it clears all the air of the propane line, and then it'll fire up for you. Once you're done, just closing off that valve, undo the collar, come back down underneath, and then I just like to attach it to itself, just ensures that nothing's getting inside of there. Inside of your little sink, you also got this little hose, so that pops into our spray port right here. You're gonna find a couple little ears there. Let's just line up those, press them in together, 1/8 turn locks it in, and then you just get the garden hose end at the other side. So for storing it back away, you of course just let everything cool down, pulling that last foot out. The sink will just kind of store on top, and then it just stuffs back into your storage compartment. In the back corner, you get your hot water tank. It's that keyway there, you're just gonna line that up, and then you can pop it on open. Your control for turning it on with electricity is just a little switch down the bottom corner there. For turning it on with propane, we just got switches inside of the unit. Before turning it on with either source, we just want to hit this relief valve right there. If the tank were full, you'd get a bit of water coming out. It is currently empty just because we got the unit winterized. Before firing it up, you just want to make sure that there is water in it, just because you do run the risk of burning out your elements if you In the back, here's the vent for your fridge. So just a service port really, nothing there for you to worry about. On the other side here, you've got the exhaust for your furnace. So if you're ever running a furnace, just to make sure it's not blocked off, it does get hot. There's also a little sticker right back here. It says low point drains. So if you look down right underneath the back bumper, you'll find those 2 little water lines there. The purpose of those is just to drain out your water lines. So if you're leaving the unit for a while, you don't want your water going stale or stagnant, drain it before you leave. Or before winterizing the unit, you just want to get all the water out before pumping antifreeze through. Up from there is your stove vent. So of course, propane stove is putting off fumes whenever you're using it. So just to make sure that the fan inside is opened up or turned on so that we can evacuate our fumes. And the flap back here allows them out. Once you're done, just press it back into place. That'll prevent any dust from kicking up in there. You also get the little service ladder on the side so you can get up top and check all your seals. And then over in the center there, you'll find your pre-wired mount for a rear view or observation camera. Now your entry door, just got that assist handle there, up 90 degrees and falls into place. Then we can open up the door. The door's on a friction hinge, so it just kind of sits wherever you leave it. Pull that handle in towards the center, and you can flip your stairs on out. You do get the little knobs in the back there, you can just kind of press those in, extend or retract your legs just based on your campsite needs. As we come inside, first things first, right on the right there, you get your fire extinguisher. So that's standard, pull the pin, point and shoot. Over right here, we got your fridge. Super simple controls. So without over to auto there, that's going to be running on 120 volt power. If 120 volt power is taken away, it'll automatically flip over to gas. If you want it running solely on gas, you flip it over to gas, it'll run just on gas. Temp selections on the side there, freezer up top, and your fridge down below. And then underneath that, you're just going to find the little pet bowls there, since this is the pet edition unit. And then inside and right around the corner, you got this panel here on the side. That's all of your interior lights. Over on the side there, you get your slide out switch, so press and hold out, and that slide will make its way out. This is an auto squaring slide, so once those motors are fully extended, they're just going to kind of whine a little bit. They'll square themselves off, and then they'll turn themselves off. There you go. Porch light's on the center right there, so as you turn that on, it's just a little amber light outside of the unit. Awning LED is the little LED strip underneath your awning. Your awning itself is on this switch on the far left. Press and hold extend and the awning will make its way out. And once that awning is fully extended, you're going to see a little black flap come down as well as a black metal tube. Once you see that, you're going to stop. If you're to continue extending, it will actually wind itself up backwards, in which case the fabric will be underneath the tube, allowing it to then hold water, accelerating the growth of mold and mildew. There's our flap, there's our tubes, we'll stop right there. If we were to continue extending, it would actually wind itself up backwards, in which case it'd be allowed to hold water, accelerating the growth of mold and mildew. Now if it were to start raining, it's of course going to hold just some water anyways. What you can do is grab either arm, front or rear, just going to pull straight down on that arm, then you can see it changes the pitch of the awning out at the head, allowing water to then run off. But if you like that angle better, because it does give you more shade, you can do the same thing with the arm up front. Before you bring it back in though, you just make sure these guys are back out straight and fully extended, just so you're not running the risk of bending them. Then you press and hold the tract, the awning will make its way back in. Again, just watch and make sure that your fabric's over top the tube. And the last thing to keep in mind with your awning is it does catch a lot of wind, so once you get up to about 15, 20 kilometers an hour wind, you're going to want to bring it back in, again, so you're not running the risk of bending your arms. So inside of the entrance there is also some closet space, up and down. Right by your light switches there, you've also got your monitor panel. So water heater's in the bottom left corner there. As you turn that on, you get that little red light there letting you know the ignition sequence will start. Once that sequence is started, the light's going to go out. It's going to try that 3 times. If after the third try it doesn't fire up, this light's going to come on and stay on. At that point, you'll just turn it off and back on to reset it. So right there, you can hear the click of the igniter and the whir of the flame. We know that tank is good. Water pump switch is right beside it. You turn that switch on, turns on your water pump, drawing out of your fresh tank to pressurize your lines. Right up from there, you're going to find your monitor panels. So you got your battery on the bottom there, so you can see we're currently charging, and then good, fair, and low. Your fresh tank, as you fill that up, will go to 1/3, 2/3, and full. Same idea for your black, your gray 1, and your gray 2. Gray 1 is going to be for your bathroom, gray 2 is going to be for your kitchen. USB charging, TV right above it. Some storage off to the side here. It does have a little hanger up top, so you can kind of use it as closet space. More storage underneath. Open storage right there, as well as your stereo. Pretty straightforward. Fireplace down here, so you get your power button on the right there, timers on the left, and kind of just all of your little lights and heat in the middle there. Power converter, press the top and center, it pops on open, get all of your breakers on the left side. Whenever a breaker breaks, it's going to sit in the middle, so just turn it off and then back on to reset it. All of your fuses are on the right side. And then through your kitchen here, so you do have this little light off to the side, just a little accent below. There's another little light up here, just on its own center push button. You get your storage right across the top here as well. Range hood, you get a light as well as a fan. So with this fan on, that's when you want that flap outside opened up to evacuate our fumes. For the stove, that just opens on up. You're going to take that knob, turn it over to light, grab a lighter, which fires right up. Right. Your sink, you get hot and cold water, of course. The cover is just soft plastic, so nothing hot on it. Microwave does have the convection feature, so you can cook in here as well. Return air for your furnace, so you just make sure it's not blocked off. Some storage underneath your sink here. In the slide out, your dinette here. Your light up top is just on its own side push button. You can see it's currently set up as the dinette. You do got the travel strap there as well. If you're to undo that travel strap and take your tabletop, wiggle it up and out of its legs, your tabletop will then sit onto these 4 blocks here. You can take your back cushions, fill in the center, and create your bed. Right by the dinette is your smoke detector. This here's a solar charge controller, so once your battery's hooked up, we'll get that all set up for you, and it basically just gives you the status of what your solar charger's doing with your battery. Thermostat's right down below that. If you hit that bottom bar, it'll wake it up. Hit that bar again, it comes down into fan speed, so fans, of course, just moving air with either the low or high fan. Keep hitting the bar and it cycles through all of its modes, so you get cool high here. So at this point, that high fan's going to be on all the time. Cooling will come in and out as needed to achieve your goal temperature. Same idea on cool low, just now it's using the low fan. Temp selection at any points just through the arrows there. Cool low auto is where it'll become an on-demand system where both the cooling and the fan will cut in and out as needed. Just of course using the low or high fan there. After cool high auto will come down into heat. Turn off the air conditioner, turn on your furnace. Furnace will be moving its air through all these little black portals that you're going to find throughout the units. Also have one by the toilet there. And with your air conditioner going, you have 2 different options with it basically. You can have these 2 louvers here opened, in which case we'd be dumping all of our air into the living area here. Once you're done, or get this area cooled off, then you can close it off, start moving your air throughout. So after you heat, if you hit that bar again, it comes down into off, and then just kind of cycles back around. Right down on the bottom there is your LP detector. Propane's heavier than air, it sits on the floor. That guy detects it and starts going off just like a smoke detector would. Little travel strap here for your sliding door. Right on the other end of that, you get your light switch there. GFR protected outlet back here, so test on the bottom, reset on top. So if you ever have outlets that don't work, it's the first thing you should check. Your medicine cabinet, down underneath it, you're going to find the toilet paper dispenser. We don't install that just because location's personal preference. Hot and cold water, of course, a bit more storage down below, just being mindful of our drains and our water lines. Of course, don't want to be breaking that. Some closet space here, and some drawer space as well. Underneath that's your central vac, so you get your power switch right there. Slide that guy open, your hoses would attach into there. Open that up on the side and get access to the bag. And then underneath here is just kind of a dust pan eliminator. Allows you to just kind of sweep up all the dust over here, open it up, and it'll suck it all up for you. Toilet flips on open, you get your flusher front and center. Into the shower, standard head and hose, just with the addition of the Aquamizer. So with that guy pointed down, it's going to take all of your water and just kind of cycle it back into your freshwater tank. So basically, if you're out dry camping and you couldn't actually hook up to any more water and you're limited to what you've got in your water tank, you don't want to be sat here wasting all that water waiting for hot water to get here. So you can take it and kind of turn it down, run that water back to the tank until this guy feels warm. Then you can flip it up and it'll start using the shower as normal. Up above our heads, we got your roof vent. So you're just gonna pull that down to unlock it, and then you can just turn it to open. In the back corner here, you get your power switch. So 1, 2, 3, and 4 speeds. To turn it off, you just press off. Close it back down again, and press it back up to lock it down. Another travel latch there for the same sort of sliding door. Right around the corner, you're gonna find a TV backer. 12 volt outlet if you had a 12 volt TV, 120 volt outlet if it's a 120 outlet TV. Antenna right here, so for turning that antenna on, you just hit that button there, you get that red light letting you know it is turned on. It will also help clear up your stereo signal. Cable and satellite outlet above it. Storage down here. Blinds throughout the unit, just kind of sit where you leave them, right? Got a closet space over here, there's a little light, just run off of that switch over here. Get the same light in there. Across the front, you have this kind of dual blind. And bring up the bottom. It's your kind of blackout blind if you're to attach the top to it. And, oh, that's backwards. If you were to attach the top to it, you can bring that down, and there's your screen. You can undo them. And then, of course, just all your latches there. A couple of locks on either of those struts, and you can lock that window open. We pick up the foot of your bed, you do get access to a little storage compartment there, and it kind of allows you to see a bit better. You do have this inverter switch. Your inverter is just inside of that front compartment there. Just takes your 12 volt power, inverts it to 120 volt, allows you to run your fridge if you're out dry camping off of your batteries. It does drain your batteries very quickly though. And the last thing we'll go over is your emergency exit. You're pulling that tab to get rid of the screen, take this handle here, throw it outside, hop on out. And that's about it for this unit. If you've got any other questions on it, please feel free to give us a call, 204-237-7272.